Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of yet another G.I. Joe classified bat by Hasbro. At this point, I feel like the bats could just start their own legion because there's so many of them. And the other funny thing about how I find funny about this guy is he's part of the Iron Grenadier line, which is, supposed to be Destro's team, but we don't have a Destro for that team, but we do got another bat for it. So, with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who has already subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And anybody who watches this video who hasn't subscribed yet and like it, then I ask you to please subscribe and also check out my G.I. Joe Classified playlist. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here he is in packaging. So you got your standard G.I. Joe Classified looking box. Cobra, Iron Grenadier B.A.T, Iron Grenadier logo, G.I. Joe Classified, your choking hazards, age restrictions, and you get the Hasbro logo. Spin them around this way. Get a pretty cool profile picture, pretty standard. This is actually what looks to be the figure, so this is not actual art. All right, G.I. Joe Classified, his number. Spin him around here. Get a nice picture of him in front of all of his robotic brothers, some of his finer details, and you get some legal underneath. Spinning around here. All right, you get his stats, the Cobra logo, his number, and your QR code. The top, you get the Cobra logo and his number, and then underneath you get your legal. So with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. He's a pretty cool looking figure. I like the overall look to him. I like the black and red and gold. It's a really neat color code to me. So I like the overall look to that. So let's start off with the rotation. So you have this side here. Got the back. You have this side. And then back around to the front. Now he has a lot of really cool details. For starters, I love this head sculpt. This started out with the snow bat. This style of head. So let's look at it from this side and from this side as an alternate head. So I do like that a lot. I like the mechanics in the chest. They all have that. And if you look at this arm, I like all the mechanics here in the arm and even in the hand. You can see like gears and stuff. And you have your Iron Grenadier logo right underneath this arm. You also have the holster for his pistol. Bring it around to the back. If you look here, you got all these little gears and stuff. And I like how they did it in the gold. So it makes it pop out a little bit, even though you probably won't be able to see it once you put the pack on. And then even the boot designs are pretty cool. I like the overall look to the boots. So overall, he's a pretty cool looking figure. I like the overall feel to him. So let's get into his points of articulation. So first off, the head does move. Right, you got a shoulder joint. Ooh, that's a little tight, but it is there. With a swivel, an elbow joint, and you have a wrist joint. Right. Get this other arm up. You have a joint right here underneath the chest plate, and you also have a hip joint. Right, spin them around this way to the side. You have a thigh joint with a swivel. All right. You got a knee joint that's a little tight, but it does move. All right. There should be a swivel right here. And then last but not least, you have your ankle joint. So everything seems to move pretty well with him. I don't have any issues. The shoulders were a little tight, but they did move. All right, so now let's take a look at his accessories. First off, you have your standard bat head here. All right. He comes with the normal equipment. So he has the blowtorch, this laser thing here. All right. His claw. And he also has a chainsaw. Now, the chainsaw was introduced with the Snow Bat as well. I did do a review on that one. If you want to check that out, that was a pretty cool review. So, the head and the chainsaw came from that figure. You have your gun. Now, you have two clear chest pieces. Right? So, you have this one here. And you also have a damaged one here. Right? And then last but not least, you have your backpack. So let's start looking at this and seeing how all this works with them. So first, let's start with the head. Right, that popped off pretty easily. And that popped on just as well. So no issue swapping out the heads. Let's get his pistol here. Oh yeah, these fingers move very easily. All right, so that pistol went right on in. No issues with that. Okay. And of course, it goes right into its little holster here. All right. So now let's put the backpack on. Okay, apparently my hands aren't working today. There we go. No issues with that. Okay. Let's try the chest piece. Okay. There we go. The chest piece fits on very nicely. No issues with that. Let's try the damaged one. All right. Oops. Maybe. Okay. All right, so the damaged one fits on there just as well. Now let's start swapping out some of these hands. All right, so first off, let's start with the claw. All right, the claw works very well. No issues. All right, we're going to try the laser on this side. All right. So that pops on with no issues. And then, of course, all your pieces could fit in here, except for the chainsaw. I think the chainsaw is the only one that you can't actually get on here. All right, so there's that. There's that. All right, so those two are in there. And you can swap them out, whatever ones you want in there. All right, and last but not least, the chainsaw. The chainsaw and this fit fine. Now, this one is weird. It actually sits up like this. All right, so that goes on there like that. Get his hand back in here. All right, so overall, everything swaps out pretty well with him. I don't have any issues with any of his accessories. All right, so my final thoughts on this figures. I do like him. I mean, he's a bat, okay? Let's just put it like that. He's a bat. If you like the other bat figures, you'll like this one. He's pretty much the same as all of them, just a different paint scheme. But I do like the black, red, and gold. I think that looks really cool. I really dig it. He is furthering the parts from, like I said earlier, the Snow Viper. So he got the chainsaw and the head from that figure. And then everything else is pretty much your standard bat. So overall, I think he's really cool. He'd be a nice addition to your collection. And once again, if you're into the bats, he's your bat. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.